Yeah, talking 4 pickup guitars today. Here's an old Kimberly. That's usually the name that they went under, but sometimes you'll see other names on these guitars here. Different colors. Green burst is probably my favorite. They got a reputation for being, chintzy, crappy, unreliable guitars. But there's some things you can do to make these nice. This came to me with no tuning pegs on it, so I had a set of Kluson reissues, and you can get them on there, widen the holes. The spacing's off, but you can still get it to work, right? So now you got tuners that are smooth, and you can get this thing in tune. You don't have to fight it. A lot of people say this guitar doesn't stay in tune. Well, what you're probably noticing is you can't get it in tune because there's play between each one of these, and you're fighting it too much. So smoothness makes it easier to get in tune. Therefore, tuners tend to stay in tune. It's fighting to get it in tune is what really people are trying to talk about when they talk about bad tuners. So there you go. So now I don't have to fight it to get it in tune, and I'm playing sooner than I would if I had the original cheapy things. Here's another thing. This neck was backbowed, and the truss rod adjustment was loose all the way. So what can you do? It's going this way, and it's buzzing 1, 2, 3 probably, right? Because of the tilt, not the tilt, the curve back was causing buzzing. What are we going to do? We're going to rip all the frets out and replane it? We've done it. But this one, I was able to just raise the 1st fret and the 0 fret. Raise them up, glue them into a higher spot. It still looks nice, though. You can do it where it still looks good. And now we've given ourselves more room above the frets. Therefore, 1st fret, not buzzing. I mean, it was bad news. You couldn't play the 1st fret before. Of course, now open, 0 fret is higher too, so now that's not buzzing because we raised the 1st fret. Now the 1st fret's higher, much better. 2nd was already pretty good, so I left it. We defeated the back bow by doing that, and now we got a nice sounding guitar. Took care of 2 major issues. These are the things people are experiencing when they say, that's a crappy guitar. We just fixed 2 of them, now it's not so crappy anymore. Action pretty good all the way up. All right? Oh, so another thing, all the pots were dirty. We had to fight them. We had to spray them 3 or 4 times. Same with the switches. But when they came back, we started to hear everything sounding good. We're hearing the bridge pickup right now. Let's hear another pickup. Let's go all the way through. And then the neck. How about combinations? How about bridge and neck? How about the 2 bridge pickups? Now these are all wired in series. It keeps getting more and more power each time you add a pickup. So these 2 pickups in series is basically a humbucker. You've just taken, what they did is they took 2 gold foils, wired them in series, and that's basically like a Gibson humbucker, right? And you hear more mids. If it was in parallel, it would be more like a Fender Stratocaster, and you had that thinner sound, which is nice too. So it's kind of cool, right? So all volume knobs and 1-tone knob. I keep them on 10. It sounds pretty good that way. Also, bridge pickups kind of sounded anemic compared to the others. So look at that. We raised it. We put some foam under there and got the bridge pickup higher. So now the bridge pickup isn't quiet compared to the others, and you want that, right? Another thing, people, they have trouble explaining why they think a guitar is crap. That's a thing. You raise the bridge pickup, now you're hearing a nice heavy tone out of the bridge, not crappy feeling or sounding to you anymore. Starting to solve all the problems, right? Now look at that bridge. See how it's tilted? It wasn't tilted when we got it. So you can see where the shadow of the original spot was. So we had to take it apart. We had to take the screws out that hold it in place, remount it, string it up, set the intonation, take it apart again, put the screws in, make sure it stayed in its spot. So everything went up the neck straight, and intonation tilt was right. So now things are almost perfectly in tune because the tilt helps. Gotta tune it first, okay? I'm never perfectly in tune in these videos, I apologize. But yeah, you check out what a tuner, it's pretty good. All right, so there you go. And then I was missing a spring, and I cut a spring out of an old lamp. I think it was like a pole lamp. Works pretty good. All right, so now not so crappy, not so chintzy. Pretty fun to play, amazing looking. Still a plywood guitar with very cheap pickups, but cheap pickups have a good tone if you're trying to do a certain thing. But what if you still love this look and you want solid, I mean, if you're gonna go on stage with this thing, you crank up the fuzz, it's gonna howl. I don't know if I can do that. Maybe I'll do it later in the video. Well, let's say you just want the 4 pickup vibe and you don't want to fight with any of that. Okay, well, how about one of my DiPinto Galaxies? Now you're talking pickups in parallel now. Now things are sounding and feeling a lot more tight and firm. And of course, people tour all over the world with these guitars. Los Straycheckers have been touring with these since, I think, 1999. So there's the vibe, there's the look, and now things are tight and firm. Roller bridge, intonatable, switches that are smooth, easy to use. It's just stage ready. I took that idea and I made it stage ready. You know, tilted the neck so you don't have a bar here. You know, like a Grover style tuner. So there's 2 different reasons to use a 4 pickup guitar. One is to get the weirdness, maybe in the studio, and the other one is to get on stage and look cool, but like really have something you can rely upon, you know? So here's these 2 pickups now in parallel. All right, so things got smoother. It's a smoother sounding guitar, definitely. That thing is a loose sounding guitar. And if you want loose, and you do want loose sometimes for certain tracks, you gotta have that thing. But I think this is probably the safer one on stage. And I've seen people use it on stage. It is safe. How about going even further? How about taking the look of a wacky guitar, but using a hot rail humbucker pickup? Now you're really, you're bordering on, you know, this is a tight epoxied pickup with 2 rails in it. You're still looking like weirdness, but now you've, right? I mean, these are both weird looking guitars, but this one's gonna have that loose, clanky sound, and this one's going to be almost, this is basically a Stratocaster with a hot rail, and people use those all the time. I've seen metal bands use that, right? You can do that with this. I'll hit the gain now and see what happens. Little Blues Junior here, cranked up. There we go. Quiet, because it's a humbucker. Mid-range, tone. Reliable guitar. With a lot of gain and no howl and no feedback. Now let's go and see what the Kimberly can do with the gain. It might be able to hold its own, you know. Not bad, right? There's the pickups in series. Now you're getting buzz, right? Whoops. Bound to happen, right? But you, even when you turn it, you're pretty much getting the buzz. And that's series. Now, I guess I could flip one of these coils and try and get it to hum cancel. That's the next step. But that's a humbucker right there. That's the 2 of them in series. At the levels that I'm at right now, we're not really getting much howling, but we'll give it a shot here. There you go, right? So that's what you end up with when you got a Kimberly on stage. However, that can be a cool thing, don't you? Sometimes you want to start the tune like Nirvana, you know, just like, ooh, and start the song, right? And if you don't have it, You get the idea. That is a cool thing between chords, right? Right. A modern guitar can't do that. So now you're seeing why those guys used these guitars back in the 90s. Because, you know, punk rock, right? I love that sound. So, yeah, so there you go. Two different reasons, two different types of 4-pickup guitars. You know, sometimes you just want the look, but the solid feel. Sometimes you don't want solid, because that's what's going to give you that, the weirdness. So, you know, these are cool to have. This guitar here is, I think this is $650 for this guy here. And then a Galaxy 4, the black one there, I think is $1050. New guitar, used guitar. There you go. There's your different 4-pickup guitar ideas. Thanks.